Howdy, folks. This is the Arkham Hillbilly, and I'm here to invite y'all to something real fun we got going on here in Arkham right now. It's called the Alpaca Exchange. Now, let me tell you about it. So if any of you saw the movie that come out earlier this year, the H.P. Lovecraft movie, The Color Out of Space, is a pretty good movie, you might remember that there was a whole lot of alpacas in that movie. You know, there might have even been more alpacas than people in the movie. They even put alpacas on the poster for the movie, like here. If you look real closely, you could see some alpacas there on the poster. It was kind of like the stars of the movie, them and Nicolas Cage. So anyway, we saw this movie with the Nashville Shamblers, my band, and JT, he thought that this movie was going to start some kind of an alpaca craze. So what he done is he went and got himself about 20 of these alpacas so that he could sell them to folks after they saw the movie and they decided they want an alpaca, okay? Now, I told JT that this whole alpaca thing was probably just like a big product placement on the part of the alpaca industry. It's probably just like big alpaca trying to get rid of some sort of alpaca surplus they had. But, you know, JT, if he thinks there's any money in it, you know, you can't talk no sense into him. So anyway, what happened was about a week after the movie comes out, boom, we're all in lockdown because of the coronavirus. So, you know, nobody saw the movie and there's no alpaca craze. And here's JT with all these alpacas. Well, anyway, we all, the Nashville Shamblers, we all got on a Zoom call, and Leroy had the bright idea of the Alpaca Exchange. And here's how it works. You bring whatever it is that you want to exchange down to the Gardner place, down to by the big barn there, and you exchange it, and in return, you get a cute little alpaca that you are just going to love, okay? So it's pretty easy. Now, we know that you're still self-distancing, and you probably don't even want to get out of the car. So what we've done is when you get there, you'll see a whole bunch of mattresses sort of piled up in the corner there. You just drive up, you drop out whatever it is that you want to exchange onto the mattresses. You pull your car up over by the well, and JT's going to tie an alpaca to the car, and then you're good to go. Now, you do got to be a little bit careful when you're driving out of there. I don't want you to go like tearing like 60 or 70 miles an hour, you know, out of Potter's Gulch like you might normally do, on account of alpacas can only run about 35 miles an hour, which is pretty fast, but it's still not as fast as 60 or 70, and you don't want to be dragging an alpaca all the way home because it ain't going to be so cute when you get it there, okay? So you might be asking yourself, what can I exchange? Well, you know, at this point, JT will just take about anything. So, you know, like a broken toaster, or maybe a Porter Wagoner album that somebody gave you that you already had, or like, you know, like a hairdryer that, you know, you plugged it into the wrong socket and it kind of blew up or something like that. You know, anything you can bring by. In return, you get this alpaca your kinfolk are just gonna love. So it's gonna be great. You know, JT's even done some flyers for this thing. You know, you can see one here. You know, it says it's the perfect post-lockdown gift for the person that you love. You know, I think that's probably true. It also says here, you know, as seen in the hit film The Color Out of Space. Now, we had to do some asterisk in there because the lawyers for the film was a little bit concerned that people would think that this Alpaca Exchange had anything to do with the movie. So that's why it says that there. Also, some people have been asking, are these the same alpacas that was in the movie? No, those was union alpacas. Some of them were stunt alpacas. These are chiefly non-union alpacas that are in the exchange. Anyway, so here's the best part. When you do get to see The Color Out of Space, you are going to be so glad that you got yourself one of these alpacas. Even after you see what happens to the alpacas in the movie. That's kind of a spoiler, though, so just forget I said anything. Anyway, come on down to the Alpaca Exchange. It's open 24 hours on account of JT's girlfriend says he has to stay out there in the barn until he gets rid of all these alpacas. So come on, we'll see you there.